So Tyler, we're hearing that the market's shifting, the market's changing. What would be your message to
Ad
some of the
nauseum,
agents out
right?
there?
I
Have
think
you heard that enough yet?
yeah, it's just been. I think it's one of those headlines that grabs agents' attentions. It's the clickbait, if you will, and we've already seen the shift happen, right? We've seen the market cool down a little bit. You've been through this before. I've been through this before. It's nothing to be scared about. It's something you need to be prepared for. But I see a lot of brokers out there that are using scare tactics on, be prepared for the recession. And it's like, hold on,
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that we try to make sure that we're ahead of all of the time instead of just sending out this urgent message of you must be prepared or you're going to go out of business. So for us, I think it's, back to basics, which we've talked about before. Really staying in touch with your sphere, getting in touch with your past clients, doing events, and certainly doing video, which we've been a proponent. I looked back, and my oldest video that I can recall recording is 2009.
Wow.
So
You're a pioneer.
the quality was not good. It was not good at all. So, but no, it's, if you can put out a message, and that's what I try to tell agents that are scared to do video, it's your digital billboard. And, Facebook is out there. People are digesting content all day on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and Instagram and all these different media platforms. And it's like, I think agents get afraid of who's going to hear my message, who's going to hear my market update, or, who is going to hear where I think the market is going. And it's everyone could potentially hear that. And it's like, how many phone calls could you make a day? If you really hammered the phones, maybe 50. Hammered them, and you'd be burnt out at the end of the day. But if you put a video out there that's evergreen, or even if it's very hyper local and unique to today's market, you have the opportunity to reach thousands of people, especially if you can get other people to start to share it.
Right. Just to pat you on the back a little bit, but I was at a broker owner conference about 2 weeks ago in Nashville, and there was a large session, well attended by broker owners from all over the country with RE/MAX, and I think they featured somebody named Tyler Morton and how he does video. So
threw me off guard to be on the screen. I wasn't prepared.
It was excellent, and being on the cutting edge. I guess there's a big difference when you get into technology. There's a big difference between wait and see and do I jump into it. And the cutting edge sometimes scares some people, and they're not really sure where to go from or where to go next with it. And should I be all in on this or should I wait? And I guess that's a little tricky sometimes. But I understand that you've also got another project coming out soon on, I would say, the first manual I've ever heard about for how to use social media, particularly with Facebook.
Yeah, so social media specific to real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I've done one in the past. It used to be called Real Estate Techno or something like that, and we're doing this under the Agent After Hours moniker, and it'll be the RE Video Vault. Is what it is, and we're really breaking it down to each separate social media platform. So our first one that we've just completed is Facebook, and if you guys watch this, I'll put a link below that you can download that guide for free. It's completely Facebook based for real estate. It tells you how to not only brand yourself as an agent and stay consistent with your branding, but all the way from the basics of setting up your business page to running an ad, which is very, very scary for a lot of people because they're spending money. And I think a lot of agents can fall into the trap, and I've been guilty of it, but I've spent literally tens of thousands of dollars marketing on Facebook. And agents can fall into the trap of either A, they think that Facebook leads are going to generate them millions of dollars in commissions, and they will not, especially if you click that boost button. If you click the boost button on Facebook, basically you're falling into the trap of Facebook's algorithm that says, I want to show this to the most people, the biggest social butterflies on Facebook that are most likely to click like or share. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are remotely interested in buying a home. Mm-hmm. So we kind of go through, the guide tells you how to set all this up, and then the video classroom that we've put together, or course, has really goes into detail on the best practices. So we've done that for Facebook. Next is probably going to be YouTube, because what I found is the more that I spend on TV, and I try not to watch a ton, but I'm guilty of watching what everybody else watches, your Game of Thrones and stuff like that. But I found myself watching more YouTube than anything lately. And I know it's been around forever, and it's you can get caught up in the weeds of, hey, everything needs to be perfect. But there are billions of hours uploaded to YouTube
Right.
every day, every hour. It's insane. So it's not going anywhere. And the cool thing, and I'm really excited to do the YouTube ads course. And this is like, if setting up your Facebook page is down here, YouTube ads is going to be way up here. But we're going to try to put it in the middle for beginners. Because the interesting thing about social media platforms like Google and Facebook is they own a lot of data.
Right.
And Facebook, you're kind of focused on one area. They know who you're liking, commenting, sharing. They know what kind of ads you're interacting with. They know, what kind of videos you watched on their platform. Google knows it just about everywhere. Mm-hmm. So if you were Googling home improvement, or if you're Googling, hey, what to expect when you're expecting, they know that you're expecting a child. You may be more likely to move. They know that you are, there's so many different scenarios where they know that you are a most likely candidate to purchase or sell a home. What to do when I retire. There's a million things that you could Google that would translate. So YouTube's an interesting platform to me because you can run those ads specific to those groups that are most likely to move. And we spend millions of hours a day as a human race watching YouTube, and you can show up on those videos and have your own TV commercial. So it's got to be really dialed in and with a specific message. So I'm trying my first YouTube ad out. I'm not well versed in it, but we just recorded our commercial, if you will, last week. So got some editing to do and should have that up, and I'll give you some results on one of our future videos.
Of course, we all know that YouTube is owned by
Google,
and it's going to only be more and more important. I was showing a house the other day. Yes, I showed a house. Don't do it very often, but I was showing a house the other day, and across the street was a car and a young man. He had the hood raised up on the car. He had a box of parts of some sort, and I saw him get his phone out, and he kept staring at his phone. Then he'd go look at something back. He was YouTubing his own auto repair. Everybody does it. How do I fix this for plumbing? How do I do this? So YouTube is a phenomenal media.
Absolutely. I had a 1983 Jeep that I replaced his steering column in. I used YouTube as my guidance. So
yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, so we'll do Facebook, YouTube. We're going to be the first two. Facebook's already done. Class should be done. The video coursework should be done here in the next week or two. We'll send that out as it comes. After that, it'll be Instagram and TikTok. I think, and then LinkedIn. So that's kind of the roadmap of what we're doing.
I think a lot of people worry about, which one should I be on? But, as I've heard a lot of people say, start on something. Start where you're comfortable.
Yeah,
if you're a business-oriented person, maybe you start on LinkedIn. For a lot of real estate agents, I don't know what to do with LinkedIn. That's fine. You do what you do best and do it more often has always been my mantra of training for every agent. Don't try to be who you aren't. Be who you are. No. And do it better. Do it more often.
I know agents that have made a fortune off of Nextdoor, which to me is just like the neighborhood complaint board of everything that's wrong with your communities. But they go on there and they don't ask for business. All they do is go in and interact with people.
Right.
Hey, I need a plumber. Here's who we recommend. Mm-hmm. I need a tree trimmer. You just ran into this. So if you do that, you can interact with your community without asking for anything in return. Absolutely, by all means, do it.
Yeah. This is not related to self-help things, but some people have asked me, you guys have been around a long time. We started Remax here in Northern Kentucky in 1990. Nobody knew what Remax was. They thought we were a hot air balloon company at the time. Kind of scared Rod and I when we started the company. But Rod and Jim and I have been doing this for a while. And then about a year and a half or so, we decided that we were looking forward, not looking backward. And, we teamed up. And a couple of people have asked me, and I just kind of put this in as a plug, and we can get it out there. But I want to make sure that people get to know why and who this partners we picked up. And I guess, when you think about it, the core thing that always was important to Jim Shack and Rod Fussinger and myself was core values. Somebody that shared our values. And the same thing in our hiring. We hire people, we hear all the time, you guys have some of the best agents. How is that? Well, we don't take everybody, and we weren't looking just for a partner. We were looking for the partner when we did this. And somebody said, well, can you sum up in a couple words, why Tyler? I said, well, he's younger, he's energetic, He's on the cutting edge. He shares our values. He has never seen a new product that he didn't explore. I'm not saying that we did it. His wife has accused him of always buying the newest shiny stuff that's available out there.
Shiny stuff syndrome.
But also as the visionary and the forward thinking. Today's we've talked a lot on these programs and others, but technology is not going to replace the agent, but the technologically savvy agent is going to replace those who aren't. And it's having the right tools and knowing how to use them. And a little plug for you is that we use a system called Facebook for our online, or not Facebook. Facebook created it, but it's called Workplace for our online. We'll call it
intranet.
Intranet is our office thing. So we have 200 plus agents from Central Ohio to Central Kentucky. How do we stay in touch? How do we interact? Before Facebook created this property that they now have extensive use of all across the country, one of the people that he turned to do a beta testing was this guy right here. So that's why we're doing it. He not only understands the stuff, he's visionary and can help us get in front of new technologies. We had a meeting the other day, and I had 2 other younger people on the call along with Tyler and another younger person. So there was 5 of us on the call, and the 2 of them, they're both in their 30s. When we hung up, said, I have no idea what Tyler was talking about. And I said, well, good, because I thought it was just me. But so there's always a new program, a new something that you're testing or trying to figure out or how to do it better. So this constant quest for the newest or the better or how can I do it better seems to be, it's driven you into driving your company to where it is. Combined, we now, we ranked number 5 in the entire Greater Cincinnati market last year. We rank in the top 500 of all companies in the United States. We're not really
top 50 in agent production.
That interested in that, but I was going to say, the production is what we are interested in, and Remax Affiliates, before we even joined up with Tyler, but Remax Affiliates, we started in 1990. Within 3 years, we had the most productive office in Northern Kentucky, and for 30 plus years now in a row, no company has outproduced us in sales per sales associate. So it's the kind of people that we want, and we think that's important, particularly in this kind of a market that we're moving into or that's slightly changing. People like to say it's a crisis going on. I like to say it's calming. In fact, I'm looking forward to this market more so than the market we just came out of, because the better agents and those of you who are out there that are working this every day as your full-time career and you're going to figure out how to make it work. And that's what a Remax agent does, is they figure out how to make things work. Whatever the conditions are, we can't control. We can only control our efforts and our attitude and our training and support. So.